here. And again, remember that if you're going to edit the website, it's better if you use Firefox instead of Internet Explorer, because there are many issues with Internet Explorer within our internal network. So to get started, once you've logged in, and again, the URL is www.duvalschools.org/admin. So this would say admin. And it'll take you where you would put in your username and password. Once you put in your username and password, Site Manager would be at the bottom, and then you can click on Site Manager. So make sure that you know how to log in. Just a quick review here. So these are what we call channels. Each channel has different sections. Even if you just hover over it, you could see all the sections. And then the sections have pages, which are the ones that you would copy and paste text. So today we'll just review some of the apps that we've done before. So to get started, I'm going to start on my page here, which will be under Department and Communications. So you would each then work on your school or on your section. And I'm just going to go ahead and create a new page. So there are only three pages that you should be using. One is the file library page. This page is used specifically for forms, PDFs, any documents. This is what you want the file library page. It'll also display a list of documents. Then we also have the flex page. The flex page is used for text. If you want to copy and paste text, if you want to add a picture or two, that's what you would use the flex page. And then we have the link library page. Link library page is used, just like the name says, for links or URLs. These URLs can be linked to outside websites, and then they can also link to internal pages. So these are the only three that you should be working with. I've noticed that some of you have used the document viewer page. I strongly recommend not to use that one until you get a little bit more familiar with the process. So to get started, I'm just going to select the flex page. Once I select the flex page, I'm going to give it a name called Welcome. On my welcome page, notice how it's here, and I have many other pages. You also have the option of making it active or inactive. Also, if you go under actions, you can also click on edit page. And then it'll bring you back to this section. So this is where you would change the layout of the page, or you can add the different apps to your page. So to get started, you can click on Manage Apps and Layout. Okay, so I'm going to start with changing the layout of my page. One quick thing that I've noticed, if you called in instead of logging in, please, you can always leave your session and start over, because you will need to follow the screen. So make sure that you log back in instead of calling in the 800 number. For the person that I noticed here, that I think it's a conference call. So make sure that you exit and then you come back and log in through the URL that I sent. Okay, so back to the layout. You have different options here. Usually if it's your welcome page, you want to make sure that the layout is a little bit different than the rest of your pages. For that, I definitely recommend either one of these. I usually do right sidebar. So now that my layout is done, again, you can start adding apps or rearranging the ones that you currently have. You can always change the layout of the pages that you've already created. So we're going to go ahead and start adding the apps. My welcome page, I'm going to have contact information. I'm also going to have some documents displayed and maybe some links. So to do that, again, for my documents, I want to use the File Library app. And I'm going to call this one Documents. So my documents, maybe I want them to be all the way at the bottom. And then I also want a contact us page. So for my contact us page, one of the options is using a Flex editor. So you can use the Flex editor. Oh, there we go. Contact us. And I'm going to want it on my right side. And again, this one I could leave here, or I could just bring it down a little bit. So once you're done rearranging all of your apps, you can click on I'm done. And then you can start adding content to each individual app. So I'm going to start with this one. That's going to have my welcome message. So welcome to my test page. Since we're here, there are a few options. It works very similar to your Word menu toolbar. So you can change the font. The font that we're looking for is Verdana, here we go, size 2. So that's the font that we're looking for. Again, if you'd like to add a picture, you can just add 1 or 2. I don't recommend that you do a full slideshow because that's not what these pages are for. Slideshows go on the front of your school website or on the district site. But if you only have a section, you don't need a slideshow. So you would click on Insert Image. I usually select thumbnail size because they tend to be pretty big, and that way you don't have to scale it down. Browse. And then we're just going to select something that's already here. Let's just do that one. Oh. Okay. And again, you can just center it. You can do different things with it. A couple other things. If you only have one document or a link, these are some of the features. For instance, if it's a PDF, you can go here, which was again the little clipboard. And then you go to browse. Let's see. Pick a document, continue, test, insert file. So there you go. You have a link to a document. Again, this is not the app that you would use to have a list of them, but this is if you have 1 or 2. The other one that we have here is to actually insert links. It could be an email address, a web address, or within your own website. And here it would guide you through the different steps. So for instance, if I want something from the district site, okay, yeah, channel, about us, section, upcoming events, page, maybe I want show your school spirit. Insert link, and there we go. There we have a link. If you don't want all of that long URL to be displayed, then you select the other option, which is web address, insert link. If you highlight the word, you can also make that a link. So that's just to show you a few of the features that you could do with the Flex editor. Once you're done, you can click on save, or also for all of your apps, if you click on options, and if you named your page, you can choose to make it as a header. So show the app name on my page. If you check it, it will show it. If you leave it unchecked, it won't. So maybe in this case, I just want to check to see if it saves it. Then we would click on save. So to see the end result here, we're going to go to departments, communications, welcome test. And there we go. We have our welcome page. But notice how there's still space here to add the other 2. So to add the other 2, all we have to do is if you click on communications, it'll take you, or on the green workspace, it'll take you back to your main section. But if you click on the name of the page that you're working on, it'll just take you back to this area, which is where you can add and change the layout. Since we've already changed the layout and added the apps, all we have to do now is just click on each one of these to add the content. So now let's move on to Contact Us. And I'm just going to say KLC. Okay. And then we're going to highlight this. We're going to go here. Oh. And now my name is linked. Just say Cynthia Kale. So I'm done with my contact us. And again, remember, if you want it to show up as a header, which is completely optional, you'd go to options and check show app name on my page, and then you'd click on save. So if we move back here, you can always click on view website and it shows you a preview. Notice how, oh, I don't see it there. Okay, so let's refresh this page here. Where did our content go? Okay, so if we go here to contact us, oh, I guess that's a very important thing. Don't forget to click on save. So let's do this. Oh. Okay, so now we click on save. And you can either do it either way, refreshing your main page or clicking on view website. So now we've got welcome, we have some information, you know, some tools to use with the Flex editor, as well as our contact information. But we're going to go back to our page here to see how we can start adding the file library documents. So again, we would go to new file, make sure that they're all saved as PDFs prior to being uploaded. File title, you want to give it the exact same title because this is what people will see. So I'm just going to call this test 2. Then you'd go to select file. Make sure that your file doesn't have different characters because sometimes if it has this or just a different character, it won't attach it. So you would always have to rename your file before you upload it. Other than that, you should be fine. It says working and then your file is uploaded. So then you can click on save. And let's just add a couple here. Okay. You can also sort the files. So maybe I want 2 before 3, or you can sort them alphabetically. When you're done, you click on save. So now, what does our page look like? If we refresh our page, you'll see that we have a text, the welcome text of the page, your contact us, and now you have some file library. Some documents. So now we're going to move on to creating sub pages, and I still need to show you what that other one would do, the link library. So let's go ahead and do that, a sub page. So if I go to the green section workspace, in this case is my communications page, section, notice how there's a great amount of pages. But what if I just want to make sure that all of my next pages that I'm about to create fall under welcome? So if they fall as sub pages of welcome, all we have to do is we create a new page, and then we're going to do flex page. This is going to be my quick links page. And then I want to add another one, maybe that says bios. So I'm going to go here, bios. Okay, so now let's start organizing them. So you would click on organize pages. And when I go to organize pages, it brings me here where all of them are already sub pages of the others. And as soon as you make something a sub page, you'll get this little icon. So if I were to just do this, notice how there's that green line, it'll just place it right above quick links. But if I drop it inside the box, it makes it automatically a sub page of welcome, which means that unless they click on welcome, they won't be able to see your pages. I'm going to make the next one welcome. And then we're going to click on Save. So since we have this here, I still want to play around with it. So let's go ahead and edit our BIOS page. So edit. Okay, and again, you can always leave it the layout as it is, or you can just change the layout of your pages. But since we're here, I also wanted to show you another app that many of you might find useful. If you click on Add App, and then we would use the Minibase app. The Minibase app, and I'm just going to say contact. Oh, sometimes it'll do it. It'll duplicate the app. What this one does is it will let you add all of your information, but more of a table view. So for those of you that don't really want to use tables, this is a much easier and it just looks better. So you just have to come up with the field names. In this case, I'm just going to say name, title, and the field name could be email. Then you would click on Set Fields and Continue, New Record, title, email at test.com. Oh. Okay, save and new, John. Oh. Title. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so 2 of those is enough. So let's go back to our BIOS page here. And then I'm just going to write some quick text to it. Okay. So now we're back here. So that's what that page will look like. And just to see what we've done so far, let's go back here to refresh. Notice how now there's a BIOS and a quick links page. So to add a BIOS page, let's see what it looks like here. So notice how this is a Minibase. Again, you can do maybe add 2 more fields, but probably not more than that because you'd have to change the layout of your page. Okay, so moving on to the next area, we still have another page to work on. So let's go back to our section workspace. And let's click on quick links. So edit page, manage apps and layout because I actually want the quick links app. So I would go to add app and link library app. This is going to say quick links. Now, maybe this time I just don't want to have a text app. Then you'd click on I'm done. And once we go in here, we can start adding the links. In this case, remember, if you go to options and if you click on show the app name on the page, that creates a header. I'm going to go ahead and create a new link. Oh. Okay, and maybe one more. Okay, and then the same thing here. You can always rearrange the order of them. So now that we have that page, and if, again, we refresh our page that we're working on, we'll go ahead and click on quick links. And again, that's what it looks like with a header. The links are there, and then you can add as many as you want. Another thing that I wanted to show you, since we are working on pages, What about if you want to just create a direct link? What if you want your page to still be listed, but yet when people click on it, it takes them straight to another page? And this is what you would do. So you'd first have to create the page. I'm going to select maybe there we go. And this is going to be called so news, maybe, and headlines. And you'd click on save. So it looks like it's there, right? And let's not forget to drop it here. Okay, save. So now it's a sub page again of my welcome test. But maybe again, I wanted to actually go to the news and headlines section of the district site. So maybe I wanted to go here, this page. All you have to do is you highlight the entire URL, you copy the URL, and then you'd go to actions right next to your page. And instead of edit page, because edit page is going to take us where you change the layout and rearrange the order and so on, you want to do page options. What page options does, it does two things. Well, two of the main functions are, one, you can change the name of your page, and two, you can click on map to page address. I can make users, I can make a direct link for them. So that way, instead of them clicking on my page and then clicking on click here, they just do one click and it'll take them there. There are other features that it also has, but honestly, you don't have to worry about any of the features here. All you have to do then is click on save. So now that lets you know that you've created a direct link. But going back to our page, okay, and then we go here. If I click on news and headlines, it takes me to another page. So that's how you create a direct link to another page. And that's pretty much some of the main features that you'd be working on. So you want to make sure that you stick to those three: the file library page, the file library page, the Flex editor, and the link library. Also, I wanted to bring up another point that I've been receiving questions about. The School Advisory Council and the School Improvement Plan, both of those, we're still working on them, and we're trying to make sure that all schools have them. So we're almost done. So all schools will have a school improvement plan as well as a school advisory council. The improvement plan is just like we did today. It's literally a direct link to the Florida website. However, the school advisory council is a page that we've created for you, and all you need to do is to add content to that page. If you are unsure about what content goes on that page, you probably need to talk with your principal. They should know what content. It's mainly documents and contact information that we're looking for. So just those two things, we should be done with those. Also, we've been adding banners to most of the schools. We're not done with that yet, but for instance, if we go to let's check out Mandarin. There we go. This is about our upcoming PEP rally information. When they click on it, it'll take them to a page with more information that's in the district. But just do not delete this banner because this will be on every single school up until registration, up until the deadline for the registration. Since we're here, I also wanted to mention that you need to we're still conducting audits, so you will hear from our responses pretty soon. You need to make sure that all of your upcoming events are being populated, that you have a short welcome message, that your announcements expire. We should not be able to still see announcements from November or earlier this year. If they're expired, they're expired. If you don't know how to expire, you can always delete them. So, which brings me back to that point. If we go here to, I'm just going to select a random school. So on the home page, that's what you want to work. You don't need to delete any of the apps that are currently there. You just add content to the existing ones. So not everybody has announcements. That's understandable. But again, you can make them inactive. You can also have them expire. How do you make them expire? If you click on edit, And if you click on display duration, see start date, there's no expiration date, it'll always be there. So you need to make sure that they expire. Also, notice that this is just like your Flex editor. So again, make sure that your font stays Verdana size 2. I know many of you want to use different fonts, but this is the one that is being accepted throughout the entire district. Also, make sure that all of it throughout your entire website stays the same and the color as well. Sometimes you'll see a page with pink font and then the next one has green font. Just make sure that it's all very similar throughout your entire website. And again, announcements should be short and simple. It should not be another slideshow because remember, you already have a slideshow. So announcements, short and simple, make sure that they expire. Welcome page should be short. There's usually a video, so make sure that you do not delete our videos. If you have your own video, feel free to replace it. If you need instructions on how to do that, please let me know. That's the Embed Code app, and I can assist you with that part. But all videos need to be uploaded to YouTube first before we can do them here. Make sure that all of your different channels have pages in them, and then that all those pages are being populated. So let's just select another school to see this is the video. Again, that's the banner, and just make sure there's always upcoming events. So that's kind of what I wanted to mention about the banner. The calendar is very easy. It's very similar to that. So again, when you go to your main, to your site manager and you're in your summary page, this is a nice way to keep track of all of your events. So you would use your calendar. So this school is doing a great job. They've already had some events. I've just seen some schools that have that do not have any events whatsoever. So make sure that you always have something going on, even if it's just 3. But there should always be at least 5 events per month. So you would click on New Event, and then let's just give it a title. Mine's going to show today. You can, if it does not have an end time, you can check no end time. If it does, you can just change it here, or you can also select all day. Description is optional. Category, we've already created some pre-designed categories for you with the predetermined colors. So I'm just going to say student assemblies, save. Okay, so there's my test page, test calendar. So it's very easy, and then you can always just delete it from here. So make sure that you have enough calendar events. Also, for those of you that not only have maybe school sites, for those of you that work on the district site with the different sections of your department, there's a nice way to make sure that to check how many visits your page has. So we'll go back here. And then I'm gonna just select a random department. So for instance, business services. So business services, total amount of visits. So this is where you could see it. And also if you want individual pages, so maybe accounting, you can go to actions and then you can go to edit page and it'll tell you there. And you can also change the date. It tells you that this page has had a total views of 1,000. But you can also select the specific dates that you want to make to see how many views or how many page hits that section's had. So that's a nice tool for you to just keep track of the amount of visits your page has. And then another thing that I wanted to show you is, let's go back here. Okay, so let's go to department. Okay, communications. If you ever, for some reason, and it's happened, delete your page, they should all still be found on the recycle bin. So unless you delete them from here too, then you won't be able to retrieve them. But if they're still there, you can still retrieve them, or you can restore the page. So that's another way for you to keep track of all of your pages. And again, the expectations for sections, front pages of school website is just to keep everything updated. We've recently completely shut down the old server. So if you still had any links um, linking to the old server, any links that say dualschools.org/static, those should no longer be on our new district site. So make sure that you update all of those links because they will not work otherwise. And that you maybe, if it's a PDF, maybe upload the new PDFs. Another thing that I also wanted to mention is the content per page. So today we reviewed the layout, and one was to show you that there's that other option, but mainly it was just to demonstrate that sometimes a page doesn't have to be extremely long with lengthy content. You can split that content into different pages. That way that people don't have to scroll down to view all of your text. So if I were to just go to like Parent Academy, for instance, so notice how this is really like nicely organized. The layout is different. That way, all of this doesn't have to go on the same page. So volunteer management. Again, this is a nice example. So make sure that you keep your pages short and simple, and make sure that the font stays the same throughout all of your pages. Why do I say this? Because, for instance, sometimes if they are looking for a specific page, we'll receive those calls and they'll type it in the search engine and it takes them to another page, maybe from the old site. So make sure that all of your content is current. If you're going to add pictures, make sure that they're not stretched out. And again, if you need help with a specific task, if it's an embedded video, which by the way, it's very easy. All we do is, let's just select one of the schools. Okay, so for the video, once you've uploaded it to YouTube, and again, there's one of my tutorials will tell you how to do this part. All we need is that embed code from YouTube. And I can assist you with that part. You need to make sure that the width and height is set to 275 to 200. When you copy it from YouTube, it's not always the same. It'll probably be bigger than that, which is a problem because we already have predetermined width for the columns. So it'll go over the column and it's not going to look right. And then I'll probably still have to fix it. So make sure that it's changed to 275 by 200 if you are trying to add a video. That goes for schools mainly because I know most of you have different events and we encourage that. If you have different events, you can add them to your front page. Also, speaking of that, I've been receiving requests to enable the subtitle feature, which is pretty simple. That feature is located here. You go to home page and rotating images. What that feature does is if you click on edit, it will then make this photo title appear on your images. So before you ask me to enable the feature, make sure that you've already renamed every single picture, and then you click on save, and then that way I can enable that. You do not need to put anything on caption because that's mainly when people are linking their pictures to other pages, which you can do that too. But if you're not, just give it a title. And make sure that it's short too, because if it's too long, it'll take over your entire picture. So again, that feature is enabled. It only, I just need your email. I just need you to send me an email. Also, speaking of that, if you're requesting access for others, make sure that they attend a training session or watch a video, because it's not enough for me to just give them access. And again, it needs to be approved by your principal. As we're conducting audits, we notice that there's some things that are missing, or pages haven't been updated, or things have been moved from the front page. The layout of the front page should not be moved. The channels should not be deleted. But you can add as many sections and pages as you want. So if you want to add someone to have access to your school, make sure they attend a web session or that they watch a video so that they can understand how to use the website. And with that said, we are gonna end our session a little bit earlier today. So I think we've gone through a lot of the different apps. But if you have any specific questions, please feel free to send me an email. I can also answer them here. Other than that, have a great weekend and thank you for coming.